The fact of the matter is, whether you've been in network marketing for years or just a few days, your family and friends have seen your opportunity and your phone is, as we call it, burnt. If you're anything like me, that's a scary thought. So the big question is, how do entrepreneurs like us, who love the network marketing profession, who no longer want to be that guy, and are tired of convincing people during uncomfortable let's get coffee meetings where they say, what's this all about? How do we market in a way that aligns us with our dream clients and expands our network of upfront and transparent professionals, allowing us to get our time back, our families back, and gain a real passive asset? People like us who value impact over income, we deserve to see our visions once and for all. Join me in this podcast where we'll uncover just how to do that. My name is Eric Sablon. Welcome to Burnt Phone Marketing. What's going on, guys? Eric Sablon here with Burnt Phone Marketing, and I'm honored to have an amazing guest on the show today. I've got a father, retired Air Force. So again, thank you for your service. He's a real estate investor in the company that he works with. He's what they call a 100K earner, meaning he's made over 100K in his career. He's got a team of thousands. He's got a heart of gold, and he's a true network marketing professional. Please welcome Papo Manzo to the show. Papo, welcome to the show, man.
Appreciate it, brother. Thanks for having me, man. Appreciate you having me on, man.
No problem. Super excited to kind of run through some things. I got some really cool, because we just talked the other day, I got some really cool questions to ask you. But first, just so the audience kind of gets to know you, a little bit about your backstory and then how you got into the industry of network marketing.
Absolutely, man. Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Papo Manzo. Friends and family call me Papo. Originally from Jersey City, New Jersey. And honestly, man, I mean, I was your typical kid back in the day that I never really had your normal job growing up as a kid, right? Like going for McDonald's, something like that, right? Like I was always a guy that worked the kiosk at the mall and sold pots and pans. And I honestly knew that my mindset was always towards wanting more in life, man. And sure enough, man, after high school, I joined the Air Force. And once I joined the Air Force, man, I mean, met some amazing people, all right? Picked up some great habits. I also picked up some bad habits, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then, unfortunately, man, about maybe 8 years ago, man, went through a life-altering event in my life, man. Was actually going through a divorce, man. Not man, my divorce actually opened my eyes um, on so many different levels, man. And it's crazy that sometimes people actually they see things differently whenever they're faced with a challenge, right? So for me at that time, I was in the Air Force for about 13 and a half years. And I met this one young lady when we were actually at an Air Force conference.
Mm-hmm.
And she reached out to me and she was like, hey, you know what? I got something that I kind of want to run by you, And that's how I got introduced to the network marketing world. Honestly, I was always very business minded. I was always very open minded, but never really looked at network marketing kind of like a business or opportunity, right? Because I mean, like we're all skeptical by nature on so many aspects. And for me, when I first saw it, I'm like, oh, it's one of those. And honestly, man, I mean, when I first saw it, I was more intrigued for the membership but for the business.
Right.
That, of course, my loved one, man. And not for nothing, man. I mean, then and like anybody that does network marketing, they don't really know what to have their hands on, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, kind of just didn't do anything with it for about a couple months until again I realized I did not know what I had my hands on. For the point that I was looking at my company more like a bill rather than a business.
Right.
And then once I called the young lady to quit, man. I mean, because I was just going through my bills, and kind of divorce kind of keeps you like in a negative mindset.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I reached out back to the young lady, I was actually reaching out to quit because I needed that money for bills, groceries, or what have you. And not for nothing, man. Like something triggered in my mind, like whenever I talked to her, because she's been nothing but nice to me.
Mm-hmm.
I hardly knew her. I just met her at the conference.
Mm-hmm.
So when I picked up the phone call to make that conversation with her, my thought triggered like when she said hello, need anything, and I'm like, man, I'll be a complete jerk if I was to quit on her, right? So I fumbled a little bit, and I'm like, how do you make money off of this, right? And it's like anything, man. I mean, pretty much just started my journey with the company, and yeah, it's been a blessing, man. I mean, it's been a blessing for me and the kids, man, for about the last 7.5 years with this concept. I literally do this from home now, like every day. I'm retired. I've been retired now for a little over a year now, you know, and loving life. Right now, living in Rio Rancho, New Mexico, just getting ready to move down to Miami. Just bought a house in Miami cash. And yeah, man, I mean, nothing too exciting, just a small, 1,700 square foot house, something nice for the kids and me, and just relax and just enjoy that, man. So that was my journey with network marketing. And then with the money that I gained with network marketing, I pretty much investing. I mean, I've always believed that you got to have multiple streams, and especially for a time like this that we're going through right now with the coronavirus, man, it's kind of crazy. So people definitely need to be open-minded, to have a plan B in life.
So I'm going to ask you a couple questions about the
man.
investing side, but man, I like what you said. Most of us don't look for anything until our back's against the wall. And then one thing that I love that you said was you were thinking it as a bill and not a business. And when you make that shift from business to not a bill, it's an investment. That flips what you're thinking about your business. I do the podcast, and I have tons of it. I would call bills for the podcast. So it's, I mean, Burnt Phone Marketing has its own bills, which, you got to understand that those come with the territory. So I wanted to ask you, because you built a team of over thousands and thousands of people all over the world, and you came from an industry where you were just kind of hustling, because you thought of something that you wanted better for you. What would you, what would you say has helped you create and maintain the team over the last 5 years? Because a lot of times in network marketing, we see a spike and then a drop, and then a spike and then a drop. So in the last 5 years, what would you say is the tip that a network marketer could take from you that is created and maintained your team over the last 5 years?
Definitely, man. I mean, the basic thing is personal development, man.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that a lot of people in this industry, I look at them as rookies, right?
Mm-hmm.
They want that get quick results. They want to go on there and just kind of just spread everything out, kind of like a shotgun style, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that in order for you to master your craft, right, you really have to know, one, I mean, the cool thing about it is making a decision to actually be a part of it, right?
Right.
And then two, actually just spending just as much as you spend grinding and building the business, you got to work harder on yourself. And this is what I mean. Like, let's say, for example, let's take let's step out from the entrepreneurship side, and let's talk about like a teacher, for example, right?
Mm-hmm.
A teacher, somebody that wants to become a teacher, has made the decision in their mind that they want
Right.
to be a teacher. Therefore, they go to college, they get the degree. And then once they get the degree on paper, they're qualified to start teaching, right?
Mm-hmm.
But just because they got that piece of paper to start teaching doesn't make them a great teacher.
Oh, that's deep.
If that makes sense.
That's good.
Right? So for me, right, like you kind of learn through trial and error.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta get in the classroom because I mean, you gotta know now you're dealing with other little human beings. I mean, you gotta learn how what the mannerisms are and all this, right? And same thing with network marketing. A lot of people just think I need to sign people up, this and that, and just kind of go through the numbers. Yeah, it's a numbers game, but at the same time, I mean, you gotta truly understand people. You gotta work on yourself constantly, man. I mean, I got books, and audios, man. I mean, like sometimes when I first started, I was the type of person that hated reading, and I was actually just kind of like just had to like get into myself and to get in that good habit. One of my good friends and mentors taught me. She was like, you know what? Just read 5 pages a day or 10 pages a day when you wake up or whenever you have time during the day. And then when I started doing that, man, I started kind of like just building like little small habits, man. And I always tell people, if you want to become successful in anything in life, you got to have that desire, not just that desire, but then you also got to have like that discipline, I mean, because the person that you are today It's not the person you're going to be when you become that person. You want to be successful. You want to be that teacher, right?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I mean, I truly believe in you know, matter of fact, let me see if I can get some books real quick, man. These are the literature stuff that I kind of bring up, and I got a whole bunch, man. I mean, but I'll bring kind of like little small ones, man. A lot of people, man, whenever they want to start a business, man. I mean, one that I enjoyed a lot, and I know when I first started, right, like I always had that mentality of I know that, right,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
it comes with, you know, like us just being prideful, you know, having that ego.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the biggest books that I like, man, is this one right here, man. Ego is the enemy.
Wow, that's a good
So
book.
it's an awesome book, man. And for me, the way I look at it, man, I mean, you gotta start changing your mindset. Other good books, right? Like Simon Sinek, Start with Why.
Mm-hmm.
You got Tom Rath, awesome, man. Strengths on Leadership. Tony Robbins, everybody knows Tony Robbins. You got
Yes, everybody.
Awake to the Job, actually like a audio.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, Stephen Covey. I got Stephen Covey here. I got Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. Everybody knows this one right here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then a lot of people, man, don't realize it. He got my same first name, Paulo Coelho.
Okay.
I mean, you gotta be just investing in yourself, man. A good friend of mine once told me a long time ago. He says, if you empty your wallet into your mind, within time, your mind will fill up that wallet.
Ooh.
And first said that, like for me, that was pretty intense, man. I mean, because at that time, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I mean, I've never came from money. First generation American. I mean, came into this world, and honestly, man, I mean, like for me, like I always wanted what other people have, and that's not just being like selfish or greedy or shallow,
Uh-huh.
but I always wanted that, man. And I always told people, man, I mean, in today's world, man, there's so many different avenues or streams of making money that if you were born poor, that's not your fault.
Right.
However, you stay poor, I mean, that's your fault, man. And that's not just poor financially. I'm talking about like on a mindset level, you know. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you gotta like possibly just grow. So I'm asking you, man, like what helped build this organization is personal development, and it's every single day, because every day I consider myself a learning progress.
Right.
And I'm constantly learning, I'm constantly reading, I'm constantly just seeing. So Jesus, God made us with two of these and one of this, man, to do more of this and less of that, right? So I'm constantly listening to people. I mean, like when I'm in a room, I'm just a sponge. I observe everybody. I listen to everybody. I kind of, even people that just get started with business, man, I kind of just learn, because you'll learn from every single aspect, man, whether what not to do or whether what to do, you know. So that's my answer to you, brother.
I always say success leaves clues. So our goal as individuals is to find somebody that's a little bit maybe behind us and compress their time frames. Like that's the goal of this show, is like to interview people and compress the audience's time frames. But I like what you said. I'm going to put a list in the show notes of all those books that you said. Ego's Your Enemy, and Start with Why. I'll put those into the show notes, so that way the listeners can find those books. And I like what you said about making the decision. I also like what you said about one of the big nuggets that you said was, Covey says, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. So if you have to do 5 pages at a time, because I wasn't a reader when I started, if you have to do 5 pages at a time and then all of a sudden you get tired, just start with 5 and then do 5 again and then do 5 again. And consistency over time will create a different mind. So just know that if what you're putting in, if you're filling the glass with clean, good, nurtured water, you're going to give back to the people, and you're going to speak it. So one of the guys that said, when I went to the 10X conference, he said this, he goes, if your cup is constantly getting full with clean, good water, your cup is only so much. So fill other people's cup before you make a mess on the table. And that was like that was a nugget. That was like boom. And that's what, honestly, that's what you've been doing with the team forever. You've been filling our glasses with clean, good water. So I'm going to jump into the next question. Is, as a network professional over the past 7 years, you've diversified into many different things with your MLM earnings.
Mm-hmm.
how important has that been for you? That's the first question. And the second question is, what would you tell the audience is a key metrics to start that? Because we know that you can't serve two masters, but you got to be able to make an adjustment and shift the mindset to a different, you got to put it into something passive. But a lot of times what will happen is people will make that jump too early, and then they'll lose focus on their business, and then they'll go right into a real estate or some other thing. So, what would be, why, how important has it been for you? And then what is a key metric that you used 5-6 years ago when you were like, I'm going to invest into real estate, or I'm going to invest into other businesses?
Gotcha, man. So, yeah, the biggest thing that I did, right? So, once I was growing the MLM, I know that a lot of people's goals are different, right?
Mm-hmm.
My goal is different, and everybody has different goals. Some people want to make a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
Some people want to make some money. Some people want to make, just enough to cover the bills. And that's why I believe that, like you understanding people, and that goes from mindset, from personal development and growing as a person, right? For me, the people that I personally sponsored, I'm like, what is your goal?
Mm-hmm.
And once we met those goals, right, like then it's kind of like a reach one to teach one type deal,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Right.
And it's crazy because for me in the military, this is my way of thinking, right? I was in the military for 20 and a half years. And what's crazy is that I used to, I was a shop chief, a flight chief, right? And for me, I had office of a lot of personnel, and my job in the military was pretty much just train these people to become, air commandos, right? And the crazy thing about it was that we were teaching them to become leaders.
Mm.
And this is when my mindset flipped, right? My mindset flipped because I was like, man, I'm getting paid, and don't get me wrong, I love the military. I love everything that's done for me. I love everything that's provided for me. But once I started thinking outside the box and knowing what I was worth, that's when everything just flipped. And I'm like, man, I'm getting paid peanuts to teach people how to become successful.
Right.
But successful, but with a ceiling cap.
Mm-hmm.
So when I started teaching people how to become successful with network marketing, I started getting people into my life, man, that I'm so thankful for. I'm very blessed for. And I had one of my mentors, man, who pretty much taught me um, on money, man. You got to truly humble yourself. You got to be financially literate, because if you're not financially literate, right, and you don't understand money, you're gonna be. I mean, having a lot of money is gonna either do two things, right? It's either gonna it's gonna amplify the type of person you are. It's either
Mm-hmm.
gonna make you, if you're a great person with a lot of money, you're gonna do great things. If you're a hole with a lot of money, it's just gonna make you a bigger a-hole, right?
Right.
So for me, he taught me how to actually not live outside my means.
Mm-hmm.
And I remained humble. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, man. Like when I first started this business, man, my first 3-4 years, I did not buy clothes, brand new clothes, for 3 or 4 years. I mean, I was just brand
Mm-hmm.
new. That's it. Was just saving, and then what I did was pretty much just minimize my monthly expenses to stuff that I need and not stuff that I want. And
Right.
that's the biggest thing, because I think a lot of people, man, that have that mindset, right? We live in a society, man, where people would rather pay and buy for stuff they want versus stuff they need.
Right. Right.
And once you understand like being financially literate, man, that was for me. I took my earnings um, from MLM, money work for me now, and that's when I started just being around other people that I mean, I was literally constantly going out networking with a lot of people, because in order to be in network marketing, you got to be a pro networker. You got to go out there and meet people.
Yeah, exactly.
So I was blessed and fortunate enough, man, to be involved, man, and get myself around people that love real estate. In my office, man, when I was still active duty, man, we had people talking about real estate all the time, and I'm gonna be like, man, these guys are probably making a killing, right? So my first 6 figures with real estate, I started off just buying um, foreclosures. And I bought my first
Okay.
foreclosure out there in Clovis, New Mexico, and bought it for about like 78,000, right? Made a couple changes myself. I mean, I did a little construction when with a couple of buddies back in the day, right? And I mean, I wasn't the best, I'll tell you that much right now. So YouTube was my best friend, man. And so it took me about a good 9 months, man, to kind of like just change the house and make the house, I mean, just pretty much sellable, right? Well, livable and sellable, sorry. And flipped the home. So spent 78K for the house being foreclosed. Spent an additional probably like almost close to 17,000 to kind of like fix it up. Then ended up selling the house for about like 172, which wasn't that bad, right?
That's 72.
Again,
that's 72,000 profit. I mean, that's
yeah,
perfect to
So,
roll into another unit.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I did. So when I was doing that, right, I learned a lot of mistakes, what not to do in my first house. Then in my second house, when I did that, right, I ended up fixing it up, doing the same exact thing. And this time I sold it for almost double the amount of money from the other house, because this was like a bigger style house, it was a ranch style house, and I was actually able to sell it to another military member, right?
Right.
And after I sold it, it clicked. I'm like, I'm in the wrong business, man. I mean, I'm in the wrong business to the fact that I just saw a total about maybe like almost like 2.5, almost close to 3 years of my life I spent doing this and not working smarter.
Right.
So that's when I started thinking, I'm like, you know what? I kind of want to get into the real estate, but I don't want to be the guy flipping houses anymore. I mean, I want to be the guy pretty much
financing the flipping of the houses.
Yeah, right. So that's when I started getting involved with this one guy that I met, man. He's an awesome dude, and I started looking into commercial real estate. And honestly, I mean, for people that know about commercial real estate, they know, I mean, you need some pretty serious capital to get involved with that. But yeah, that's when we started, man. I mean, we pretty much just started doing commercial real estate, just buying these lots. And the lots that we were buying, I mean, like at first people were laughing at me. They were like, dude, like, you're crazy. Why are you buying that over there? Because that's never going to grow like the next 30, 40 years. I mean, well, you know what, man? I mean, we'll see where it goes. And then sure enough, man, in a couple of years, man, it started booming. And instead of me selling some of these lots that I knew that were going to make money, right? Instead of me selling commercial real estate, I pretty much just leased it out to them, you know? And again, my mentality was like, do I want to make great money fast? Because if I sold it, I make great money fast.
Right.
Or do I make good money forever, you know?
Right.
And for me, I always thought about, you know, a lot of my friends, I mean, like when we talk in network marketing, man, we say, you know what, getting $1, right? Earning $1 and getting a residual dollar, two different things.
Two different things.
You know, like earning $1, you're getting $1 one time. Residual dollar means it comes in every month, no matter what. And it's based off the work you did back in the past, not what you did right now, right? So that's what I started doing, man. You know, it's been I mean, a huge blessing. And now, I mean, it's to the point where, I mean, like the risks was not so high, but the rewards is just paying out awesome. And I have no overhead, and they're pretty much just doing everything. I mean, they got to pay for the taxes, man, like at the end of the year.
Right.
But it's been a great ride, man. I mean, I've met so much. I've met a lot of people. I've done a lot of mistakes. I've lost quite significant, right? But that's part of life, man. I mean, a lot of people are just scared to go out there and kind of just try it out, man. Just do it out, man. But yeah, I love what I do. I've been blessed and fortunate to have the people that came into my life when they did, you know. And I believe I would have never been thinking this way, man, if it wasn't for network marketing, man. I mean, like, network marketing truly opened my eyes to a whole different realm, a whole different world. And yeah, truly grateful for that, man. Blessed.
So I'm going to answer the tip that I asked you for. And it literally is this: don't take the money that you're making from your network marketing business and flash it and spend it. Use it as an investment, because number one, you don't know how long it's going to last. And number two is, you know, find something that's going to create true residual from true residual is what Papo has been doing. So think about that, guys. Don't take your check and already spend it. Don't take your network marketing check and already spend it, because, you know, you're just going to dig yourself into a hole. Take that money, invest it into something, Real estate is probably the best thing right now, but I'm not an agent and I'm not a financial person, but I'm just saying that real estate right now is a good thing, and Pablo did it. So, and first off, thanks for your service. I appreciate that. And guys, did you hear what he said? He talked about in the military, he was training people to become leaders. And when he decided to use the tools and the skill sets that he used in the military, in his day job that paid him, that still pays him, he flipped it on his head and he used it in network marketing. And all of a sudden, his business took off because he was creating leaders using the same tools and techniques that he learned in the military and applied it to his business. So just remember, there's always different places where you could learn new tips, tricks, tactics. You just got to be open. You got to be looking for it. And like you said, network marketing is a compensation plan wrapped in personal development. Is a personal development course wrapped with a compensation plan. So the more people you help, the more money you're going to make. So I'm going to jump right into the next question is, you've been in the entrepreneur space for many years, 7 years, 8 years with the MLM that you're in, and then you've been doing some other things. What would you have told yourself the day you signed up that would increase the speed of your business today? So go back 7 years. What's the one thing you tell yourself 7 years ago that would have increased the speed of your business now, knowing what you know now?
That's a good question, man. Knowing what I know now, what would I do different back then?
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, man, knowing what I know now, I would have gone faster, harder, and not listened to people's advice.
Right.
Not listen to people's opinions. I mean, because again, we live, whether you do network marketing, whether you're gonna open up your own donut shop, people are gonna freaking talk regardless. They're gonna be negative. And what's crazy is that most of the people that have the biggest opinions, man, like they're usually the ones that don't have anything in life going on.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of my fallbacks was pretty much just from being comfortable after I heard someone's opinion, you know. And it's crazy because it's all a mental game. It truly is, man. I mean, it truly is. And that's where I see a lot of struggles for a lot of people, like starting anything really right now. I mean, is just don't listen to the, you know, I mean, honestly, man, like to answer that question truthfully and honestly, man, there was this one audio that I heard, and it was when it hit me, after hearing what that guy said in that audio, it was to a point where I'm over here like, wow, like if everybody was to have that mindset now from the beginning, you'd be like pretty much invincible. I mean, and most people might look at it as being a little arrogant, but I mean, this is doing things out of just to be a jerk, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you're confident, you know where you stand, right?
Right.
And it's pretty much just having posture. So the kind of audio, if you can mention, you know, like a little bit of history, because in history, if we don't learn from history, it tends to repeat itself.
Right. Totally.
So yeah, and there's one guy, man, he mentioned this audio about Alexander the Great. I mean, everybody knows Alexander the Great, man. Like back in the day, he was a guy that just ruled everything. Everything he wanted, man, he goes, yeah, I want that. I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna take that. And it got to a point where Alexander the Great, they came to one island, and it was him and his generals, and then they sent out some scouts to go scout the island, man. And then a couple of scouts came back and be like, dude, like we gotta go back. These guys are ready for us.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they know we're coming. They're fully armed, and man, they're outnumber us. And like just for like numbers sake, man, it was like kind of like they had like 20,000 people,
mm-hmm.
right? And Alexander only had 2,000, right? And he was like, yeah, man, we need to go back. We need to get some more reinforcements, more ships, and come back and pretty much just take it over. And then Alexander the Great was like, nah, that's not what we're doing. This is what we were doing, right? He said, first of all, we're gonna burn all our ships,
right?
And like the generals are like trying to talk him out of it, like, you're crazy. I mean, like how are we gonna get back home? If we burn the ships, it's gonna have some smoke. People are gonna know like where we are and where we're coming from. Blah 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 blah. He says we need to go back and just truly think about this. He goes, the only way we get off this island is on their ships.
Right.
It's either we die, I mean, it's either we perish or we live.
Right.
And if you truly think about that, man, I mean, that is so deep, man. I mean, like, you always hear these you always see these videos, these memes. If you want to be successful, you have to want it more than breathing, right?
Right. Eric
But
Thomas.
that audio, man, I mean, it just clicked on me. And I'm like, you know what, man? You got to be relentless in anything. And if I have to do it all over again, I would not listen left. I would not listen right. I only listen to the people that are guiding me, showing me what to do, and literally just go shape, man. I mean, because yeah, fast is fun, man. Fast is fun, and right now I'm at the point in my life, man, that if I could do it all over again, that's exactly what I'll do, man. Just don't listen left, don't listen right. Just listen to the person that's mentoring me and guiding me, and show me what they have. Just run with it, man.
You know what's so funny is one of my seven-figure earners, he actually spoke from the stage, did a bunch of events. He's good friends with Eric Worre. He's been on stage with Eric Worre. And if you guys don't know who Eric Worre is, he's the network marketing professional. He wrote a bunch of books. He said the exact same thing Papo said. Exact same thing. He said, I would stop listening to other people's opinion. And one thing that I always say is, if you buy people's opinion, you buy their bank account. So just remember that, guys. I mean, just remember that as like a lot of these nuggets that we try to drop on you are stuff that you can take action or use later on. So, buying people's opinion, you're buying their bank account. And burning the ships, guys, burning the ships will flip your mindset into a different manner, in a way that you'll be able to think of your business, think of your network marketing business, think of your advertising business, think of your agency, think of your donut shop, like Papo said. Think of everything about your business as, we're going to win or we're going to perish. So just remember that. That's a little nugget that you guys, that everyone on the audio on the show should take a listen to. So, Papo, what are you currently working on, and where can the audience find more about you?
Honestly, man, right now I'm still working on my network marketing business right now, man. I mean, I love it. I enjoy doing what I'm doing, because I mean, for me, if you love what you're doing, it's not really work.
Right.
And right now, with the current circumstance, man, that we can't leave our houses, like most of us can't leave our houses, right? Like, we're quarantined. What better way to pretty much just show somebody an opportunity than show them how to get paid off of what we're doing right now, just being online and just being on our phone and just showing a concept, right? And people right now, I mean, we're in a place that right now, whether people join or not, for me, that's not important, because for me, it's really not about the money. For me, I just want to have the impact on people to like be open-minded on how having a plan B now is truly important, man, to have right now in life, man. But that's what I'm working on now. Not only that, but I got 2 months before I actually move out here to Miami. If the schools close down here in New Mexico, I think it might close down here by the end of the month. Then we might be packing our bags a little sooner and going out there and getting settled down with the kiddos. But other than that, man, I mean, yeah, I mean, that's my main focus right now is the company I'm a part of. I love it. And if you want to follow me, just follow me on Instagram.
Okay.
Definitely, guys. It's at Papo Manzo, and that's on IG. Hit me on DM, whatever you want to do. I mean, I'm more than happy, whether you guys want to do something. I mean, just need some information or need some guidance. I mean, I'm all about serving. I believe that in order for us to be successful in anything in life, man, we got to learn how to become a humble servant and a humble leader, man. And we could talk about anything. I mean, anything. I mean, there's so many different ways about making money in today's world. It's kind of crazy, man. I wouldn't be surprised if people just pretty much just jump on and just do them. I mean, there's so many different ways. I mean, we live in a world where the internet just pretty much just takes over everything.
Right.
And just about this, man. I mean, like, companies become successful whenever you solve a problem in the market space, you know. And a lot of these platform businesses nowadays, man, they didn't reinvent the wheel. They just pretty much made the experience better, whether it comes from Netflix, Hulu, to Uber, to even like now, I just found out, since I've been at the house, I found out this local this local app here in New Mexico. It's like run something, like run get food or something. So
Right.
these guys can pick groceries, man. So there's so many different ways, man, to make money out there today, man. So you guys can actually just capitalize on that, man. But yeah, that's my main focus is right now is pretty much just building a network marketing company because now like the commercial real estate is pretty much like on
On hold.
autopilot right now.
Yeah.
So no, it's on autopilot right now, man. It's
Oh,
pretty much
okay.
it's just coming in from the west.
So yeah, I wasn't a Grubhub or a DoorDash or an Instacart person until just last week. So I'm on all of those now. Because
Yeah.
again, we're quarantined and people are there's a niche right now, and I don't want to exploit what's going on, but there is a niche, and it's good that they already had the wherewithal to have that set up beforehand before it became a new thing. Like imagine 7 years ago when we were like, are you crazy? I'm not going to order a cab on my phone. And now it's like Instacart and all of these places that are doing food delivery are just going to skyrocket because it only takes a couple of times to use it, and it's a home run for you. So I always make my guests a landing page. So like always with you, I'll send a landing page and it'll be a link to your Instagram and your Facebook. Also, I'm going to link to which book should we link them to? Start with Why, or what book do you want to link them to?
You know what? The audiobook that I have, probably all the drawer, man. Honestly, man, is link them to the richest man. Well, you know what? Yeah, the richest man in Babylon.
Okay, so what I'll do is
Read that.
we'll actually do a link to the richest man in Babylon on that page. So that way, when you share that page, you can be friends with them on Instagram, friends with them on Facebook, and then there'll be a link to get that book. So the richest man in Babylon, it's a quick read, but the story is timeless. In fact, it's very timeless because it's about the richest man in Babylon. And if you know what Babylon is, that was way back. So the principles still stand there. So the last question I'm going to ask you, and I've been asking this to everybody. I love this question. So you're at either the biggest real estate event, biggest network marketing event, and you're speaking from stage. There's 100,000 people out there. When you're leaving the stage, when people are turning around to walk away, what's the one phrase or concept that you want to be associated with Papo? What's the one phrase that they said, that guy is this? What is the mic drop phrase for Papo?
You know what? I'll leave you with this, man. Right? This is something that I always say, right? And it's really not my quote, but I love it so much because it pretty much hits, man. And my quote is, "Fear is temporary, regret is forever."
Mm.
That's my quote, man. Because for me, like when I think about that quote, it is that kind of something I put earlier, like on my social media, right? Like most people are scared to do or take chances on themselves, right? And I believe that sometimes, man, I mean, like it's okay to be scared because that's normal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some people want to wait, and waiting hurts, right?
Mm-hmm.
Forgetting about it hurts, right? But not knowing which decision to take
Mm-hmm.
can sometimes like be like the ones that's most painful at the end, man. So, yeah. So, fear is temporary, regret is forever. Fear,
Wow.
I mean, it's yeah. That's one thing I would say, man. It's, don't be afraid to try anything,
Right.
because at the end of the day, like, and I mean this with all respect and all sincerity to people that are going to listen to this, man, is um, I look at regret from a lot of people's faces, man. In exactly the last 2 years of my life, I've seen a lot of regret. And this is what I mean. I've seen regret in a lot of my older family members,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like they're in the 60s and they worked the entire life and they got nothing to show. And right now with the economy going tanking, I mean, like
Right.
they got no place to go, right? Also, another place where I saw a lot of regret was at my retirement ceremony last year, and man, it was tough, man. I mean, for me, like a lot of people, when they came to my retirement ceremony, some of these guys were joining the Air Force before I did, but they were my buddies. We lived in the dorms and we hung out and drank beer. And they looked at me like, damn, you're retiring already? And I'm like, yeah, man. He was like, I would have been retired 2 years ago. And then just the look on their faces, man, was just basically just regret, man. And you definitely don't want to, I mean, just think about it. Eric, man, I mean, like, I'm 40, right? I know you're older than me, man, but you still look like you're 19, man. But
thank you.
But absolutely, man. But people tend to regret because why? Because we don't have that mindset to think outside the box, man. And if we don't expect more or want more in life, man, I mean, we're going to be a bunch of 40, 50-year-olds, man, saying, man, you know what, woulda, coulda, shoulda. Right. So fear is temporary, man. Fear is temporary. Regret, so that's something, man, that will hit hard and you'll go to the grave with, man. So that's something that I want to be remembered as.
So guys, walking off the stage, fear is temporary, regret is forever. Guys, think about that. What Papo was telling you is, and what he's done is he's taken action. He's burned the ships. He's literally taken what he's learned from the military, burned the ships, did personal development, did things, and he's in a position where only the top 5% of the country is. I mean, in the world, I mean, he is doing well. He has residual income. He has investments, guys. He is somebody that you'd want to follow. So make sure you follow him again, www.burnphonemarketing.com/Papo. So it's PAPO. So guys, I want to thank you guys for listening. I hope you guys got some amazing nuggets. I hope you guys tune into the next episode. And like always, listen to the whole outro. I'm giving away something for free. It's the lead machine system. So you guys can have that for free for 7 days. Just go ahead and go. It's going to be on the link that we talk about with Papo. So www.burnphonemarketing.com/Papo. And you'll be able to pick that up. You'll be able to pick up the book Richest Man in Babylon. You'll be able to pick up the Connect with Papo. And guys, so our goal here is to always add value. So we delivered a ton of value today. Thank you, Papo, for jumping on, guys. And I will catch you on the next edition of Burn Phone Marketing Radio. Catch you guys later. Are you tired of not getting Facebook interactions on your posts? Or if you do, it's people that are already on your team or people that are already in your business? Well, we've solved that problem. We created a system that helps you generate leads on autopilot, climb ranks, promote your services, sell more products, and become a leader effortlessly without spamming your friends and family ever. So take our free 5-day course, go to www.burntphonebots.com and click the link, and we will see you on the other side. Again, that's www.burntphonebots.com. All right, guys, see you on the training.